because you grew up together. And then,
it's like some of us kind of did. The thing is about this band is that we've only been a band for like 6 years, really. You know
yeah, I mean? And the weirdest thing about us is that most bands tend to sort of, you know, form from, you know, they've all been friends for years. And
since school.
Like since school, they've all known each other and they've been in bands for years and everything else. Where for us, it's something completely different where we all ended up in this band through other people who we were friends with. We didn't necessarily know each other. And it was just like sort of somebody'd leave and sort of, it'd be like, oh, you know, our old singer left. Like we had 2 vocalists, one of them left, and the other vocalist we had was turned around and said, oh, well, I know somebody who can sing. And it's like, oh, okay, well, bring him along. And then Matt came and we met Matt, and then he's been in the band ever since. And then it's the same with Darren,
it's the same with Ryan. With Ryan and with Gavin now, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just...
I've known Gav mine since I was
People
14.
just seem to kind of like, you know...
Pretty much a happy accident that it all works.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, it's really cool. You know, Gavin is such a unique person in his own right. He's a very talented musician, very great songwriter, very kind of, I don't know, his attitude towards just the world is very unique. He's very open-minded. He's very excited about the prospects of what the band is doing for him. And it makes us feel more excited about touring because everything is so kind of fresh and exciting for him, so it's great.
Yeah. Okay. The title of the new album, Memory and Humanity, and what does it have to, what does it say about the album?
Memory and Humanity is kind of like a reflection on the themes in the record, which deal with a lot about what it means to be alive, the interactions between people. You know, it's very much an album based on, interaction. People being people, working together, relationships, the way we are ignorant sometimes, the way we think, the way we love, the way we hate, the way we fight, the way we destroy, the way we create. It's very much, all these elements, life and death, they're all part of the greater spectrum of what it is to be a human being and alive, just encompassed by memory and humanity.
Yeah. I was wondering, it's definitely about going through life. I think.
Yeah, it's the path. It's emphasizing the cover of the record, the journey from youth, the experiences that we gain that lead us down the path of life, you know? Yeah. And it's like into the unknown, you know? Who knows what's ahead of us in life, and who knows what opportunities, what chances, what life is going to bring, and it's there.
Yeah, okay. I was also wondering, could you have written these lyrics on the first album, or would it
not on the first album? No.
Totally
the first album was probably made up of lyrics that I wrote when I was a teenager. Some which were, you know, kind of fresh, but mostly to do with kind of like relationships and like young rebellion and things like that, naivety. And over the course of growing up and, you know, experiencing life for myself, experiencing different cultures, different people, different attitudes, different ways of thinking. You know, I've developed as a person, and my writing has developed, you know, as well. And I have a lot more things that I couldn't say back then. I wasn't educated enough to say back then that I feel more education.
Can you give an example?
Songs like Constant Illumination, Constant Resurrections as well. You know, Maybe I Am. You know, dealing with different kind of elements of I guess societal kind of structure. I don't want to come across as like we're a political band or anything like that, but I think a lot of things that we see I find are very important. You know, the attitudes in different countries, different political ways of thinking. You know, being involved and even talking and being friends with people who think of these things where I didn't before, you know. It makes you it does educate you and does make you think harder about subjects that you initially didn't really know much about or didn't care about. So education is quite an important thing for me, coming from a country where, you know, the scholastic system isn't exactly well known for being, you know, providing bright shining lights, you know. So it's definitely something that I feel more inclined to write about these days.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad that I'm in a band where I'm supported and not kind of knocked down in those kind of things, you know.